So hi, Carlson. She is Farha, physiotherapist with a special interest in women's health. I studied in Malaysia. I did my first degree in Malaysia, and then I moved to India because, well, back then, chuo ambacho nilikuwa nasoma was pretty new. I was like the ninth batch, so it was pretty new. Then I was like, okay, and I didn't want to come home, so we said we will do another 2 years in India. So then I went to Manipal University in India for another 2 years before I came back in 2016. So I've been probably working for about 7 years. I think my math is right. 17 and 24. Yes, for about 7 years now. So yeah, I work in the field of physiotherapy.
Hey everyone, Carlton here, and as you heard, today with Farha, a physiotherapist, specialist in women.
Yes,
How are you?
I am fantastic, blessed, and grateful.
Oh, that's a really nice answer. We usually say, "How are you?" I'm
I'm
okay.
good.
Yeah.
No, I'm blessed, grateful, and amazing.
Okay. And I feel like when people say I'm okay, they might not mean that they're okay, but
That's
it's
right.
just the fact that this is the normal. So yeah, umesema ulianza Malaysia, then you went to India.
Yes.
Was it like literally from then that you wanted to become a physiotherapist?
So to be honest, no. I really wanted to become a gynecologist,
Oh, okay.
a women doctor. Then tukapitia shule.
Yeah.
My lecturer back in school had a word with my dad, and he told my dad, said, no, so much if Farha fanye MD, because for you to get to a gynecology level, maybe do was MD, internship another 1 year, that's 6 years, specialization another 3 years. So that would take like 10 years until you graduate.
Wow.
I was really down, very, very sad, if I can say that word, because I was young and my dad wasn't listening to what I want, but was listening to what other people wanted. I was one of those spoiled kids. Kwa hiyo, I was really upset.
Yeah.
And then I did the career test, the most basic of things. Went online, did a career test, and two options came up. Actually, came physiotherapy and psychology. I picked psychology. I don't even know how I would have done that, but at that moment, I didn't even know what physio was. So psychology was something I knew of. So it's like, okay, Dad, I want to do psychology. And then Dad says, why don't you do physio? Hapo, the spoiled kid in me was like up and running. So I was like, no, Dad.
My second choice and just saying no to it? No.
And then I was like, you know what? This is my ticket to leave the country. This is my honest truth. This is my ticket to leave the country. Which I go, unachotaka nikasome, as long as I'm out of here. So then my first day of uni, I go to class, come back from class, go home, go to class, come back from class. I don't even know what I was doing, but I was in Malaysia studying. One thing about me is I don't like failing. I really am really scared of failure and really don't like failing. Kwa hiyo, despite me not knowing what I was doing, I made sure I'm acing in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Then after 1 year, tukapelekwa something they call observational posting. So they took us to a physiotherapist center and we were just there to observe, just for 2 weeks. And when I was there, I observed one of the most amazing cases I've ever seen. Someone had an accident, couldn't lose their hand, went through surgery. And it was physiotherapy that rejuvenated his muscles and gave him his mobility back and his function back. And I was so amazed because I knew I always wanted to be the one making the change.
Yeah.
So then I was like, oh, okay, this is what we do. And then I built my interest in it. And I am so grateful that I'm a physiotherapist right now because I see how much change I put in. I think the slogan for 2019-2020 World Physiotherapy Day was adding life to years.
Okay.
And that's exactly what we do. You come in sick, you come in pain. And we don't add the number of years you're going to live, but we add that life in the years that you're going to live. And to me, that is fascinating, so satisfying. So then that's how I ended up doing physio. And as I speak, I love it. And I'm so happy my dad pushed me into doing that. Boy, that spoiled child right now is grateful.
That's nice. That's a nice story, but
yeah.
You wanted to become a gyno.
Yes.
Right now you're specialized in women.
And that's why yes.
That means you're really passionate in helping women.
Yes, I am.
Where did that come from?
Just being a woman, I guess. My dad has 3 girls. Okay. We're 3 girls in my family. Growing up, all I saw was women, and I'm a Muslim.
Yeah.
I don't like using the word I'm about to use, but a hybrid. I'm a mixture, brought him in an Arab, Indian family. So being brought up in that that concussion made me see or made me want to put women out there. Put women out there. My mom was a working mom and she was a teacher. So all I envisioned is bringing up women. I want women out there. And the fact that we have Mama Samia as our president, yo, that is goals for things that I envisioned. Kwa hiyo, I've always wanted to be the one helping women. Before I specialized in it, before I built interest into women, nearly I explored children, pediatrics, and where they're amazing, but the crying kind of gets to me. I don't think I have the patience, though I do it, but I don't think I would put myself in a field of old age. It takes a lot to deal with old age. I do it, but it wasn't my field of interest. The other field is sports, and looking at me, you should know that she doesn't really do a lot of sports, but I enjoy that too, but my interest was more, and then I touched women, and then I saw how much there is no awareness on my role as physiotherapist in women. That's when I was like, okay, I think this is where I want to base myself on. And I'm still struggling with bringing up the awareness of my fields or the role we play in women, because I don't want to say that we don't keep updated, but living in Tanzania, we tend to roll with what we know and not really yes, we don't really update ourselves with the different technologies, the different fields. Kwa hiyo unakuta so many women suffer in silence only because the awareness is not there. Kwa hiyo, then I said, you know what? Acha niwe yule mama ambaye atadeal na wamama wenzake.
And bring the change to Tanzania.
That's right.
I mean, umesema the slogan in 2019 was adding
2019, 2020, somewhere. Adding life to years.
Adding life to years, yeah. For me,
yes.
Personally, the first perspective that I have when you tell me about physiotherapy is I'm hot, I'm old age, or I've gone through like
an illness.
Exactly. Like I'm healthy. What's the importance of physiotherapy?
If you already know the type of people that come into a physiotherapy department, you coming into a physiotherapy department when you're healthy is to prevent you from being those old people or those people with injuries. Right now, we're living in an era where everybody or most of us are doing desk jobs.
Desk jobs, yeah.
If we're not really doing a desk job, then we're sitting, commuting from point A to point B. And then when we're getting home, we're tired. So we're sitting in some more. Kwa hiyo, you coming into my office or you walking into a physiotherapy department would put you at in a group of people who can get themselves away from being high risk of different things. Having a desk job puts you into a position where hip muscles are being tight because you're always flexed. Your core tends to be not one of the best because you're either leaning back or you're leaning forward. Kwa hiyo hapo yani there's a muscular imbalance. Most of us are doing laptops and phones. Kwa hiyo the neck positions are corrupt, and those are amongst the common people who walk into my department. I have 20-year-olds. I have 20 going high, walking into my office. People who just started working. So fresh graduates who just get into work. They're a little bit more enthusiastic, creating their name. They graduate, they're trying to prove themselves.
So they're overworked.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when they're overworking, they're not looking into all these things that would bring them into my office. If you come into my office and feeling okay, we do an assessment. We look at your muscle tightness, muscle strength, and your nerve mobility, na vitu kama hivyo. So then we're like, okay, Carlton, if you don't do ABC, or if you continue doing ABC, you will be my future candidate. Koyo, we teach you a few things that you can do that will take you out of that group ya kwa high risk of having muscle issues or spine issues in the future. So I would say it's pretty important for people to walk into a physiotherapy department just for a checkup, just for an assessment, an annual assessment, once in 2-year assessment where I'm fine. And so the other very interesting thing is they did researches on the most common issues like back pain.
Yeah.
And to your surprise, I think if I'm not mistaken, and I'm quoting this right, this is a 2022 research. And they took very healthy people with no pain from the ages of 25 through 60, put them through an MRI. I'm assuming MRI is the investigation. Yeah. And you'd be surprised at how many people turned out with issues but they didn't have no pain. They were living their lives. They were going to the gym. They were exercising. Wanaenda makazini, wanarudi majumbani, wanacheza sports. But they had disc bulges. They had disc protrusions. They had disc degenerative diseases. And they were just fine with no pain. Kwa hiyo, if grading health is through pain, then hapo kuna ka gap. But if you grading health through flexibility, through mobility, through mental health, because that's something that is really, really a rising problem right now. But if you look at those other factors, I think it's worthy you walking into physiotherapy department before coming in with pain.
Okay. I mean, I as early 20s, yeah, I'd be like, I'd rather go to the gym and strengthen my muscles, you know? But at the same time, I feel like people might be getting hurt from the gym, right? Like doing the exercises.
So that was my next question. How do you know what to train?
My whole body.
But how?
How they train it is through YouTube videos. Like, this is what the trainer said, or they have the personal trainers there. So that's how they learn how to strengthen their body. Is it helpful?
And that's okay. I'm not going to say it's not. If something's better than nothing.
Yeah.
So at least you're going to the gym. At least the fact that you're not in pain, you're using a personal trainer or a physical trainer that guide you into fitness. So there's a huge difference, if I can say, between a personal trainer and a physiotherapist.
Yeah.
A physiotherapist, in the most basic form, ni yule ambaye who can diagnose a problem and treat a problem. A personal trainer ni yule ambaye can guide you into your fitness, can guide you into the amount of physical health that you can build.
Without diagnosis.
No, they're not. Even if you look at the number of months or years that they study, we go through 4 years for a bachelor's with like a 6 months internship, or rather 1 year, depending on the and a physical training is about 6 months course. You get a certificate. 10 year 6 months is including your internship, if you can call it that. Where they're based on just exercises and the science in exercises. We're based on science of the body, mechanism of the body mechanics, the kinesiology of the body. There's a lot of pros when you go to a physiotherapist. So what I would say is walk into a physiotherapy department first. Get yourself assessed. If your physiotherapist rules you out and says, listen, Carlton, mission issue yote, kindly proceed with your training, then get yourself a personal trainer who's going to train. It's also a cheaper option.
Definitely. Yeah.
And again, kwa sababu you already have a relationship with your physiotherapist, 6 months, 1 year, you go back, look into it. Am I doing the right thing? Are we walking into kwa sababu, unfortunately, and I might be touching on a very sensitive thing that I might say next, and I mean no harm.
Yeah.
But most of the personal trainers in places are mostly experienced, self-taught. What they mostly know is either I want to lose weight or I want to build muscle. There is very less in between hapo. Kwa hiyo, touch base with a physiotherapist and then swing into your personal trainer. Kwa sababu tengeneza relationship na physiotherapist wako. Kwa hiyo, we don't prefer the messages that, hi doc, nimefikia hapa kuna hiti, but we tend to accommodate them and tell you, okay, hapo, there's that ailment, but don't do this, avoid this, do that, and then you keep up with your trainer.
Kwenye mambo ya physiotherapy,
yes,
I've been having back pain since I was like in secondary. And I'm always like stretching and I'm done, you know? And I think we are a lot of us, like,
yes,
as you said earlier, that we settle with the normal. It's like, I'm always having desk jobs, you know? That pains happen.
It's normal to have.
Exactly. So like, what's the effect for it?
So before I get to the effect, since you brought me into the line of you've always been having back pain and you're always stretching.
Lower back pain.
Yes, and then you're always stretching. That's not going to fix your problem. Because once you stretch, you go back to doing whatever you're doing, and then the muscle would contract again, it was spasmic again, and then you'll stretch. You're not breaking that cycle.
It's like you're just doing it temporarily.
But if you're going to stretch and then strengthen your muscles to fit that lifestyle of yours, then you'll be breaking a cycle. So what do I mean to say? I mean to say, even if you look at the muscle bulk or the muscle build of you or me who does a desk job, I mean, I don't do a desk job, but you or anybody else who does a desk job, and a person ambaye anabeba zege, Yule anayebeba muscles zake zinakuwa built up, unlike you who's sitting on a desk. So yule maisha yake yanahitaji that type of muscle, arm strength ya kuweza kubeba the uzito, or rather leg strength kuweza kupanda ngazi in a building or something like that. For you, you need your core strength because that's the one that puts you in sitting.
Yeah.
For you to, so you know how the muscles work. The muscles work in a very fantastic way, yeah? So there's a working muscle and a muscle that works against it. So an agonist and antagonist muscle. So what do I mean to say? For me to sit upright, gravity pulls everything down.
Down, definitely. Yeah.
So what's stopping you from falling down? Did you ever think of that?
Yeah.
No. Hapo unakuwa ushafika chini.
Okay.
That's down for you because you're already touching
That's
something.
the base. Yeah.
Yes. But if you were to stand up and do the same thing, you won't end up there. You'll end up happy on the floor, and then it keeps going. But what stops you from falling is your muscle work. And that's why I'm trying to lala. There is no muscle work. A person who's asleep doesn't have muscle activation. That's why you can do that to the arm and it just drops.
Yeah.
Kwa what's stopping me from falling this way or that way is my muscle work. So desk job people, you need more core. And when I want to ask you something. You've been asking me a lot.
Sure, you can.
When I say core, what do you understand? What's your core muscle?
My core muscles. For me, I like physics, I like math.
Okay.
So I'll use the center of gravity.
Okay.
So the muscles around there.
Which are what?
Somewhere around. Maybe because this is the center of gravity. I don't know the math.
Okay, sorry for putting you on spot.
No, it's all right.
So you're right. Core is the center. And if you look at our body, this is the center. The person who taught me this taught me a very nice thing. And they made me talk about the core like a box. Think of the core muscles like a box, literally like a box. So on the top, you have your diaphragm. On the bottom, you have your pelvic floor, right? And on the front, you have your abdominals, your six packs.
Yeah.
At the back, you have your extensors, your muscles, your back muscles.
Okay.
And then on your sides, you have your obliques. You have your transfers and your obliques. The very fancy V that you see on people that build muscles.
Yeah,
that one. That's the one we're talking about.
All right.
So all those make up your core. And at any given point of time, when any one of them goes haywire, is weak, is tight, it disturbs the balance.
The balance, yeah.
And then unakuta watu say, oh, I have a lot of back pain, but it's because we tend to not use our abdominals. Kwa hiyo tuna exhaust our back muscles a lot more. Of course, they're not going to like it. If I was to put you here on recording from like 9 to 9, you're not going to like it. You're going to retaliate. Or if you're going to do it, you're going to do it you want to give it your best. Same thing. Once you exhaust that muscle, ndio maana tunasema people who do desk jobs, work on working your core because that's what you're depending on the most. Or work on your neck because you're constantly here, constantly on the computer, constantly on your phones, constantly writing, constantly having meetings. Where these ones get tight, get tired over time. We're working on just generally stretching and strengthening to break that cycle of I stretched, I feel good, and then you go back sitting on the desk, and then something else you asked after this the cycle, the effect.
Yeah.
So like I initially told you, you end up with just a muscular imbalance. You end up with some muscles being see, remember I said there's an agonist and antagonist.
Yeah.
There'll be one that's going to be weak and not one that's going to be tight. Yeah. Take an example of people with desk jobs. So if I'm sitting down, very rare do you see people have these fantastic desk chairs or working chairs or office chairs, but they end up not using them. And what do I mean by saying that? When you're on the computer, hardly would you see people like lean back onto their chair and they're always up here. Because what's the purpose of me having that fancy chair if I'm not going to use it? But then you end up having very strong these ones and very weak these ones. And then our diets are not really one of the best, and our abdominals are the ones that carry the most fat. Kwa hiyo unakuta there's a muscular imbalance hapo. Kwa hiyo the effects turn into tightness, and then on the long run, it's the back pains and the neck pains. And then again, on the long run, if we want to get a little bit into the body physics, you end up with things like reduced metabolism. Yes.
Wow.
If I'm just constantly sitting, my resting metabolism increases. Kwa hiyo maana unakuta watu wanakwambia, but I'm not losing weight. How are you going to lose weight when you've stagnated your metabolism by sitting? And according to research, it says that between the age of 1 and 20, your metabolism starts declining. And then 20 to 60 na stagnate. And then 60 na decline again. Hapa kwenye where 20 to 60 where it stagnates is where it's the working age. It's the age before you retire. It's the age when we graduate, or you not retire.
It's the overworking time.
Exactly. And it's already stagnated. It's already steady. And the fact that we're not moving more is making it even more steady. Then all these other fancy diseases or rather ailments come about, because then higher reduced metabolism brings about insulin resistance. Insulin resistance brings about diabetes. Lack of movement brings about heart diseases. You end up having this old aged person, or rather katika the retired age, unasikia matatizo ya moyo, matatizo ya kisukari, but it all came from here because we're working so hard for this money, and then at the end of the day, we use that money to get that health that we sort of slipped on. But it's that vicious cycle that we run around. The effects are a bit more, you don't see them. You'd never see them. You'd be like, I'm fit. I've worked so hard today, end of month, end of year, you need to submit stuff, you need to finish things. I've just been overworked. And then utatoka pale, instead of having a bit of a workout, tunakutana na washikaji, ndio tuna refresh mind hapo where we're sitting again. So ile sitting inakuwa, it's like a continuous thing, and that's what I'm saying. You're not going to see the effects right now.
Yeah.
But on the long run, muscles get tight, muscles get weak. You see people with hunchbacks. These are laptop squeeze it. As we go, zinazidi kuwa smaller and smaller. For you to use that keyboard, you need to be like shrunk in. Yeah. Now, how long are you doing that for? Okay. We leave the office, we walk into coffee shops to work some more, and then enjoyable. Life moves.
Wow. So that means, for me, because my lower back pain is hurting, that means the muscles there are tight and my abdomen.
Muscles there are overworked. So the reason why pain comes in the muscle is mostly 3 or 4 things. Either they're weak, so they just can't do what you're asking them to do. So they're going to hurt to communicate to you and tell you there's something going on. Or they're being overworked. So example, your muscle has the capacity of working 9 to 4, but you're working 9 to 8. So you're overworking them, or you're misusing them. So something that we see mostly, again, I'll tap into women, is, I don't like this statement, but house chores.
Yeah.
Tagged onto the women, As ukikuta, most of the house helps are women.
Are women, yeah.
I don't know why, but that's how it is. Kwa hiyo, the way watu wanavofua, wanavopiga deki, they tend to bend with their back when really the lower back muscles are stabilizers rather than muscles that need to work. Kwa unakuta wanazi misuse, wanazifanyisha kazi that it's not meant to do. Because I'm young and healthy, of course, they're flexible enough to take it. But then as I age, my flexibility reduces na inakuwa habitual. Nishazoea kufua vile, nishazoea kupiga deki vile, nishazoea kusimama kufanya hivi. So I would continue doing those things despite my body not accepting it. Kwa hiyo, yani inakuwa, you've misused your muscles, and over time imekuwa habitual, kwa hiyo inakuwa tu you keep doing it.
Okay.
So misuse, overuse, weakness, tightness, these are things that it's not one fits all. So it depends on your lifestyle that would determine your muscle pain is based on what particularly. But those are the most 4 common things that would bring about a low back pain in the most general of ways. There's so many reasons to bring about pain. Kidneys could bring about a back pain. If you have a kidney stone that's so big and it's impinging stuff, it could radiate and give you a back pain. But if we're talking about non-specific, if we're talking about mechanical back pains, then those are your top 4 reasons for your back pain.
Okay, so assuming that I'm a desk job type of person, what would you advise me to do? Like maybe between sessions I should walk around, or?
Yes, so that is the first thing that we tell people to do. Nowadays, everybody has these smart watches, smartphones. Set reminders, 40 minutes to an hour.
So that's like...
You need to move within 40 minutes to an hour. Now, we're saying 40 minutes an hour because there are times when you're going to be so engrossed in what you're doing and you will pull it to an hour and a half. To Kikombe 1 and a half, you'll pull it to 3. Koi, let's stick to 40 minutes to an hour. Just move. And when we say move, sometimes you're in a meeting. we're doing this right now. And
Yeah.
let's say it's going to take us 2 hours. My
We'll
watch
stand after one.
my watch would tell me, Farha, it's time for you to move. I don't necessarily have to get up to move. You've seen those flyers in a flight, in an airplane, those things that in a couple and they have few exercises that you can do in an aircraft. That's because most of the time you can move. So you could just go like to your right, to your left, right and left a little bit. That's movement. You could go right, left, up, down, shrug your shoulders, bring them back. Just move. Now, again, after 2 hours, please make sure you get up. So what we tend to tell people to do desk job is have your printer or pali. So even if you're not going to get up from your chair, most of the office chairs have tires. You'd sort of just push yourself to get there. When you get there, you'll turn around and get that paper, and then you're back. So kuna ka movement happen. One other thing is drink a lot of water, which would make you go a little bit more often to the loo. So you move a bit more, and drinking water is healthy. The other thing is just work out. Just work out, guys. It's not that hard. And it's not as hard as what people think. You could have 20 minutes a day at the comfort of your home. Do 5 minutes of stretch, 10 minutes of strengthen, and you're good. According to science, we say 30 minutes a day, 4 or 5 days a week is good enough for you. So it's okay, when they stick to just walking, eh? They tell you we walk or we run. That's a good thing. It's a very good thing to do. It's a good exercise for your cardiovascular. But how much is that doing for your core? How much is that doing for the rest of your muscles that you use more often? It's good to run or walk. It is advised to do that 3 times a week on the minimum, 30 minutes each time. 5 is better. But then 20 minutes of stretch, strengthen. Yoga, people talk a lot about yoga.
I was also trying to start yoga, but yeah.
It's good. But then sister, yoga has a lot more in it. Yoga has more breathing patterns, which is very good for your relaxation, which is good for your mental health. But when you're doing yoga, you're doing a sort of a holistic, like a comprehensive approach. You stretch. But then again, which ones, techniques, get a person to train you before you decide to watch a YouTube video and then do it on your own. Oh yes, get yourself a trainer. At least a yoga trainer. At least hata kama ni 5 sessions basi. Get the basics, and then after you know the basics, and then develop through your YouTube videos. And then I'll say that, okay. Kwayo stretch, strengthen at least 3 times a week at home. It can be at the comfort of your home. Move around on your desk. Pale on your desk. Have your desk set up in an ergonomic format where your screen is elevated at about 110 degrees. Your elbows are rested because tumesema gravity pulls everything down. Kwa if I'm here, my elbows are not rested. Yes, kwa we're doing a lot up here. We're forcing this guy to work a lot more to ensure my arms up here. But if they're rested, this guy gets to relax. I know it's me telling people to do a lot more, but then what I tell my clients is this is an investment that you're doing, an investment that if you're a desk job, it's an investment that you're going to keep requiring for a long time coming. They're those very fancy and cheap for whatever you want, but zile laptop stands.
Yeah.
So there are those that are inclined that would have your hands here. I don't fancy that, I'll be honest. I would enjoy that because it's going to elevate your laptop to your eye level. But have an external keyboard. Okay. It doesn't have to be those bulky ones. They can be those flexible ones so that you can raise your keyboard laptop up here to be at your eye level, and then your keyboard in a chini. And then you've sort of eliminated that or that from your situation. Always have your back rested. Now, sitting like this is equally important as sitting like this.
Yeah, I always like sitting like this because it makes me feel better from the lower back pain.
Yes, but then unazichosha, remember, gravity pulls you down. Kwa hiyo utakapokuwa umekaa hivi for a long time, you're demanding a lot from your muscles. So that's why I'm saying, when I'm sitting like this, I'm working my muscles, which is good. When I'm sitting like this, they're relaxed. Kwa hiyo a bit of both is good, but make sure you're doing this a bit more, because what ends up happening is ukishakuwa engrossed in whatever you're doing in your PC, you're lost. Kwa hiyo after a while utajikuta tu mwenyewe, yani you're just there because of the focus. Kwa hiyo make sure you're using your chair. There's so many fancy gadgets nowadays out there. Utakuta sijui a lumbar support that's like curved like that, and the chairs that you raise this and push this down. You want to get into all that, well and good. You're asleep. As crazy as that might sound, you're asleep. So your body is such a fancy machine. It's such a fancy machine that radiates ikiwa imeharibika kwenye gari au I'm not very good with cars or when something just yes, it just goes haywire. So if your sleep is not very good, your muscles are usually going to be tensed because you just didn't sleep well. You didn't give them enough time to relax. Kwa hiyo, then in turn, when you come to that desk job that you're doing, you're not going to be at ease to even just sit there because you're tensed, you're stressed. Kwa hiyo, yani that's like it's a very holistic thing. So I just can't tell you for you to what to do right on your desk job is to just exercise. No, exercise, sleep very well, eat very well, have your proteins in check because proteins is the ones that builds muscle. Kwa hiyo, have your proteins in check. Bongo chapati zile za asubuhi nini. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
We eat a lot of carbs.
A lot. Definitely. In Africa, we eat a lot.
Of course. Tuna mawali hapo.
There's a lot.
Ukitoka kwenye wali ungia ugali. Ukitoka ugali ungia spaghetti noodles. Ukitoka hapo tuna chapati mandazi sijui. You know, it's
That's
just
the food
there.
that we eat.
Yes. Kwa hiyo, let's not forget to add our proteins into our diet and just move. So, as from a physiotherapist point of view, if you ask me what I need to tell my client who's doing a desk job is move, and move some more. 40 minutes to an hour, like we said, use your chair, ergonomically set it right, walk into your physiotherapist department to get yourself assessed, and just work out. Any of you guys, working out is not even that hard, eh? It's not that hard. It's actually very, very fun because when you work out, your body releases endorphins. Your body releases oxytocin. So endorphins and oxytocin, this oxytocin, I'm sure what I tag sana is the love hormone. Yeah. But then mtu ambaye who's in love, it gives you that euphoria, that very relaxed, happy feeling. You get the same feeling from working out.
It makes you glow as well.
It makes you glow?
Glow, yeah. That's what I've heard, though.
I am not going to say yes or no to that because I haven't read a research. So I would like to base everything I say on science.
Yeah.
So I personally haven't come across a research that says working out equals glow.
No, as in, no, the hormone that you're speaking of.
Yes. Oxytocin. Yes. Oxytocin, yes. So that's why they term it as the happy hormone, the love drug, wanaita. So when you work out, you release endorphins, you release oxytocin, which gives you the same euphoria. So the only difference is when you work out, either euphoria is a temporary one. Yani as soon as you're done working out, once ziko pale juju, and then once you calm down, they come down as well. Then why would you want to feel good for even that short little time and reap benefits out of it? Guys, work out.
Umongelea sleep there, and I've once heard that sleep is not resting. Is that true?
Why? How?
From the explanation that I had is that when you sleep, it's like your mind is still working, you know. But as she was explaining, she was saying that resting is like doing meditation.
Okay.
Going out for like a getaway.
Okay.
And things like that.
Okay.
That was the resting.
So, from my opinion, again, I didn't read about this. I didn't come across the paper, but from my personal opinion or experience, that kind of resting that you're talking about, you can't go for a vacation every day. I mean, we have to work. Life has to move on. So you can't have that rest every day. Sleep is, in my opinion, good amount of rest, but good sleep.
Yeah, that's the question. Like,
yes.
Are we having good sleep every day?
You tell me. If you ask me, there are a few things that you can do to have good sleep. Okay. And again, this is from just a general point of view, not from physiotherapy point of view. But have a routine. Example, I'm going to sleep by 10. I know we don't do that, but I'm just giving you an example. Like, I'm going to sleep by 10. So that would mean my last meal needs to be at 7. So that digestion, absorption needs to finish. You need at least good 4 hours for all that shenanigan to happen. Okay, my last meal needs to be at 7 so that my body isn't working. Yeah. Kwa last meal 7, if I want to sleep at 10. Make sure I'm done with everything that I think is important. Let's say by 8. 8. Everything important. If it's work, if it's watching a series, yani 8 o'clock nimemaliza episode. Yes.
Even the phone away by 8 or...
So I'll get to the phone part, but I'm saying series. Yani at least an episode is 40 minutes. Nikiangalia ile episode at 9, it will end at 9:40. Hata ile, nowadays, these series have a lot of adrenaline rush. They give you suspense. Kwa hiyo, your body inakuwa haija settled 20 minutes into that series kuisha. And we're usually trying to battle, should I watch another episode or talk to that friend of yours ambaye unataka unaangalia na pamoja. Yeah, so it's unakuwa hauja settle bado. Kwa hiyo, by 8 TV, again, this is not proven, but this is my personal experience. Shut down that episode by 8. Kwa hiyo, up 8 to like now, let's say 9, I've showered, I've settled into bed. They say don't walk into your bed with your phone. Me, I would sway kidogo hapo. Because, so assuming Farha, I would want to prep for my next day. Kwa hiyo hapo 9 mpaka 9:30, I'm looking at my calendar, trying to see which client I have in the morning. Have a quick, okay, we tulishia hapa, okay, kwa hiyo this is how I'll plan my exercise program, this is how I'll plan my client, okay, I need to do ABC. And then by 9:30 to 10, I now have shut down everything. My phone is away, my series are done, my laptop is shut, my lights are off, and then I'm meditating. Now, when I say meditating, I don't mean like, oh, no, but I am zoning out. I'm thanking God for my day. I'm praying for a better day tomorrow, and I'm just unwinding.
Yeah.
And then before I know it, I'm out. And why wouldn't I have a good sleep? So, ukiangalia, people who don't have a good sleep are people who are restless about, oh my God, I need to do this tomorrow morning. Kwa hiyo ukilala unawaza kile ambacho tunapaswa kufanya kesho asubuhi, or who are having a lot on their plates. Kwa hiyo, oh my God, sijamaliza hichi. So when you sleep, you're dreaming about walking into that place. Slow down your day before it's time to sleep. And I think sleep is a very good resting state. I think it's a very good one. I enjoy my sleep, eh? Yeah. That's one thing I don't bargain on. 7 hours of sleep.
That's the healthy amount. 7 hours.
Regardless.
Okay. I mean, and is there a specific sleep position?
Good question.
Serves your back.
There is science, and then there is people. And I want to be in between both. For you to get a good sleep, you need to be comfortable. So if I will sit here and tell you, have one pillow under your head and one pillow between your knees and one pillow under your arm and one pillow at your back, you'd be so stiff in your sleep that you'd be like, So it would defy the purpose of rest. And then science says onto your side is one of the best positions to sleep with. The worst being on your tummy.
I'm usually sleeping.
I know, and that's why you see me looking down, because I'm one of those candidates. But I try and maneuver it. So best sleeping position is on your side. One pillow under your head, one pillow under your top knee or between your knees. So if I was to, I don't know how I'm going to show that to you, but assuming...
This is the bed, then I'm sleeping.
Assuming this is me.
Okay.
And this is my... So torso and legs. So this is one leg, this is the other leg. Okay. So a pillow under my head, which should be above my shoulders. Yes. Pillow above your head. And one pillow can either be below this knee, below this leg, or right in between the two knees. Between the two legs, yes. Yeah. Either way, the whole concept is to avoid the top leg dropping. So when the top leg drops, this creates a tension onto your lower back through the hip area. And then over a long period of time, it'll tighten and stuff like that. Well, just have a pillow. To be more comfortable, another pillow up here. If you have a life partner, your life partner can be the one who's up here. They further go ahead and say have another pillow at your upper back. I know. Again, this is all if you want to be fancy.
Yeah.
People do so many researches are being done. Different results get achieved. Kwa hiyo, wengine wanakwambia have one behind your back, so unapochoka kuwa hivi, you can just lean back and you're still supported. But if you come think of it in practicality, kwa hiyo nikigeuka, kwa hiyo yani nageukaje? Yani nageuka na mito mingapi?
Kwanza najitola da.
I stay. Hey. Jamani, tuliomkosea Mungu wa da. Tutubu to this heat is unreal. So, onto your side. Or if you're sleeping flat, a pillow under your head, a pillow under your knees. Kwa hiyo your knees inakuwa slightly flexed. Onto your tummy is the worst one because it creates a tension between your upper back and lower back. Kwa hiyo hapa katikati, hapa kwenye kile depression, kile what we call lordosis. Kwa hiyo that creates tension pale, and I'm yet to see someone who sleeps on their tummy and sleeps straight.
Can't you like put a pillow?
So yes. So then you put a pillow under your tummy, but it's not comfortable. Because then ushakuweka mtu hapo, kuna wengine ambao watakunja mguu mmoja, and then watakunja wa pili, and then all that again to say, when I said I wanted to be in between both, please, if you're comfortable on your tummy, look for what works best for you. Science says your size is better, onto your back is second best, onto your tummy is the last option you have. So,
do
you? But preferably onto your sides with the pillow, at least 2 pillows, one under your head, one under your knees.
Okay, noted. I'll not try that.
Uniambia kama tunasikiliza mambo tunayoongea hapa.
The fact kama umeniambia wewe unalala with your tummy, that means
listen to what I say, know what I do. Practice what I preach.
But you have to walk the talk.
True. And I'm working on it. And that's why I told you I've found what works best for me. So which is I tend to have a pillow right under my chest that comes down to my knees. I'm not fully flat. I'm slightly tilted. Yes, on the side. It works.
So the goal is just to make sure you're straight.
Your spine is aligned.
Okay.
Yes, you're not adding a lot of tension. When you know wanaweka mito miwili huko on the neck, where then your neck is like all the way up, preferably not. You are neutral, just enough to cover up that curve.
The gap curve in between.
Yes.
I'll definitely try to find a way there. Okay, so let's go to women's physiotherapy.
Yes.
So when we were talking, you told me that there's post,
yes,
during, and pre, post, and during.
Yes.
So let's start with pre. Yes. Like for a woman who's preparing themselves to get pregnant. What is the importance of exercises to them?
So we all know that with pregnancy comes weight gain, 8 to 10 kgs.
Okay.
A healthy weight gain is 8 to 10 kgs. Kwa hiyo, that weight gain, it's muscle that carries weight in the body. Kwa hiyo, it's prepping those muscles to be able to carry that 8 to 10 kgs on the most simplest of terms. But then again, there's a lot of alignment changes that happens. Your center of gravity moves forward as that belly grows. Kwa hiyo, you would tend to have a lot more tight muscles. Kwa hiyo, if you start prior, it's easier to work yourself through it during pregnancy because pregnancy comes with hormones. What the hormones do bring about loosening stuff. The hormones come and loosen stuff, loosens the ligaments in the body to allow enlargement, to allow the tummy to grow, to allow the cheeks to grow. I'm joking. But so yeah, it keeps you focused. It keeps you fit to be able to go through pregnancy. Pelvic floor muscles, that's one of the least talked about muscles, which are the pelvic floor, the muscles down in your vagina. Mm-hmm. Or men have them too, but since we're talking of women, we'll talk of them in that aspect. They're the ones that are least involved. And if you are going to do your physiotherapy or your exercises before pregnancy, it keeps you in a position to be able to work them prior. So pelvic floor muscles are muscles that do 4 things. Top 4 things.
Okay.
Make sure everything is inside. All your pelvic organs, your uterus, your fallopian tube, your ovaries, your bladder, your rectum, making sure it's like that plaster that stays at the bottom. Works about orgasms. So I like telling my clients, to have a bomb orgasm, you need to have a bomb contraction. If your muscles are not strong enough to give you that contraction, of course you're going to orgasm, but it's not going to be that bomb. It's not going to be that Unajua ile, the one that goes like, yes, this is it.
Sijui, but okay.
We'll scratch that
Yeah.
way. So then orgasm. The other thing is controlling bladder and bowel.
Okay.
And this is where pregnancy comes and fluctuates that. So what do I mean controlling bladder and bowel? Like we say, the organs, the bladder and the rectum are the one plastered by the pelvic floor muscles. Everything enlarges. The baby goes through there. While those muscles tend to be pulled out, tend to be stretched. So what you hear most women come and complain later on is having incontinence, leakage of urine. They can't control their urine. And we tend not to talk about such things because, well, taboo, it's private part. So mume wangu atanikimbia, mume wangu atapata mtu mwingine. And we tend to just stop ourselves from the social life because what if I'm out in public and I can't control my pee? And so all these things are not talked about. So they tend to, again, lock that woman inside.
Actually, even never knew about it.
Right. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
So if you're doing your pelvic muscle training before pregnancy, it puts you in a position to know how to control them. I tend to tell my clients delivering is like, for them to understand, it's like squeezing ketchup out of a bottle. Ketchup being the baby, bottle being the uterus, the hole where the ketchup comes out is the vagina. If I'm going to squeeze very sluggishly up here, it's not going to come out. And if I close that ketchup bottle, however much I'm going to squeeze, ketchup is not going to come out. And if I don't know how much pressure to put in between, I'll squeeze too hard and then a lot would come out. But in terms of pregnancy and stuff like that, not a lot would come out, but tears would happen and weakness and all these other very unnecessary stuff. Well, if you do your physiotherapy or you're exercising before, it puts you in a better pedestal where unakuwa body is fit, mind is fit, you are aware of what you're walking yourself into, especially if it's baby number one. You're aware because your physiotherapist would tell you what you're expecting to see with your body changes. And then during is to continue staying fit, it's to continue releasing those endorphins and those oxytocin that are very, very important, to continue furthermore working on your pelvic floor muscles to prevent all those unnecessary effects like the incontinence and the tears during delivery and stuff like that. Post is to get back that before baby body, which I would like to talk a little bit more on that kwa sababu society puts this pressure on women that, hey, umejifungua mwezi wa ngapi? Mwezi wa tatu. Hey, mbona bado mnene? Na tumbo, guys.
Yeah.
Please, let's give these women a break. They just came from like partaking in a miracle. Delivering a baby is a miracle. Mm-hmm. It's bringing life into this world. God chose this said woman to bring this soul to earth. Kwa hiyo, let's cut her some slack so that she can at least adjust to it. The first 3 months of having a baby, I mean, if you've ever had a baby in your family, haulali, you only get to nap when the baby is napping. That's what they say, nap when the baby is napping. But when the baby is napping, that's when you get time to shower, to eat, to clean up. Kwa hiyo, just give this woman some time, give this woman some grace, and let her work on her body at her own pace. Let's not put this pressure on women. But then working out, exercising post just keeps you fit. Let's put that losing weight onto the side, but it keeps you fit, it keeps you sane, it keeps you onto that track where I'm at least doing something for myself. I'm not. You sometimes lose track, once you have a child. I mean, I don't have a child yet. God will give me one at the right time, inshallah. But I see my clients, they tend to lose themselves because now it's all about baby and family now. Because zamani ilikuwa just nyumba na mume, but now na kazi au naye mwenyewe. And now it's this being that is dependent on her 24/7. Kula, kulala, kuoga, to survive. Depends on this mother. Kwa hiyo, her working out, her being able to have that 20 minutes of a workout puts her at a better mental state where at least I'm having time for myself. And like we said, endorphins, oxytocin, releasing of all those hormones gives her that boost. Where you're coming to physiotherapy, and this is where we guide you, because you wouldn't really know what to do after delivery. Muscles are weak. People end up having things like diastasis recti. I'm sure that's a very big word for you right now.
I didn't even hear it.
So it's diastasis recti. So we all have these 6 packs, the 6 big chunks.
Yeah.
There's a line in between those 6 packs. I'm sure wale ambao, if you're one of them who have those 6 packs in check, there's that linea alba, depression. Yes. Kwa hiyo with pregnancy, kinatanuka kile. I mean, all of them, even the 6 packs, that's why the belly comes all the way forward. It's expected to recall on its own. It's a muscle. It's meant to come back on its own. But about 33% of women don't get it back on its own. They have that depression.
33%?
33%. So you can imagine how many of them don't even know about it.
Exactly.
So that separation tends to bring about weakness. And if you don't know how to train yourself better, if you don't know how to work yourself better, you would end up having a lot of back pain because these muscles are not going to be supporting you the right way. Kwa hiyo utasikia, I'm working out, but I have a lot of back pain. Did you get yourself checked out to rule if you're okay to go back to your exercising? Again, I'm touching a very sensitive spot. Personal trainers don't really know how to diagnose such issues, don't really know how to grade muscles. Kwa hiyo, you want to lose your belly fat from your pregnancy, we need to start doing sit-ups. We need to start doing crunches. You're laughing because you're one of them who does sit-ups to get that 6-pack, eh?
That's the easy route. That's the common route, actually.
Yes, the most common one, but no. Guys, my muscles just expanded for, let's say, 6 months. The first 3 months, for 6 months, eh? It may expand. Do you think they're strong enough to be able to lift my upper body weight? No. So you need to go back, start at muscle activation, learn how to just get your muscles activated to do these activities. Then build up. Then start with just lifting up your leg, because lifting up your legs require a lot of your core. Learn how to balance them. Then get into your crunches and sit-ups and all this fancy stuff. You wouldn't know all that if you don't walk into a department or speak to a specialist who can guide you through it. The other reason why it's important is back pains. Most women complain of a lot of back pains, and wakienda kwa madaktari wengi, awareness, there's very little awareness. Ni kawaida. Yes, it's common, but it's not normal. That's something that, yes, it's common, yes. Wengi sana wanaumwa back pain, but does that mean it's okay to have it? No, it's not. But if you exercise and make your muscles stronger, you remove yourself from that risk of having the back pains and the sciatica and the pubic symphysis pain and all these so
Fancy
many
words.
Fancy words and so many ailments that come with pregnancy. It's pretty important to have it before. Now again, you'd tell me, but some of us don't plan to conceive. It just happens. It's okay. What we tend to do is we give you the first trimester, the first 3 months, where we protect the pregnancy. It's very easy to have a miscarriage in the first 3 months. If you're a person who never used to work out in your life, the only workout you do is walking. The first 3 months, we tend to not push you, kwa sababu we're trying to protect, we're trying that pregnancy. Once you hit into your second trimester is when sasa we start building you pole, work on your muscle work on your walking, ambayo ndio zoezi kubwa. Wena mama mjamzito akija kwangu, mama unafanya mazoezi? Ndio. Mazoezi ya aina gani? Mimi daktari natembea. Sawa, unatembea. What else are you giving me? What else are you putting onto this table? Kwa hiyo, it's very important to know the right type of exercises to do when. And probably that's why we're here.
Okay. I mean, there's pre, post, and during.
Yes.
Which one would you say is the most important?
During and post.
Okay.
Because, like I said, pre, most of us don't even know we're conceiving. Pre, most of us don't even work out on a daily basis. Ndio tuko busy na maisha. Kwa hiyo, pre, I wouldn't give it so much emphasis. If I had to pick, I would say during, and I would say second trimester, from 5 months into your pregnancy, because morning sickness is no longer there. those very uncomfortable
Feelings.
symptoms, of pregnancy. Zinakuwa tushazipita, tumeziacha first trimester. You've understood your body a bit better by the time you're 5 months, so you're in a better position to accept exercises. Kwa hiyo during 5 months hapo hadi, and then post, if it's a normal delivery, then 6 weeks post.
So now, I want to ask in this perspective, because
Yes,
I've
please.
seen one video that
Mhm.
a guy was helping a pregnant woman
Okay.
lift up the stomach, and it was like, this helps the lady.
Yes.
So how can a man help the lady during the pregnancy period? Kwenye swala la therapy yake ya mwili,
Mwili.
vitu kama hivyo.
So yes, there is that relief that
Yeah.
is attained by lifting up that belly, because yani anakuwa ule uzito
Just the
anakuwa
weight.
ame offload yeye kidogo. Just being a responsible partner, I would say, because there is nothing you can do for my body.
Yeah.
I am supposed to be working for my own body, but encouraging me through,
Exercise.
babe, you can do it, or whatever you call each other. You can do it. It gets better. Kumsaidia with wearing shoes, if she can bend down and wear it. Just being that present partner through that
Being
pregnancy.
reasonable.
Being reasonable, being present. This will come out as a very not expected statement, but one way a husband, a partner can help his partner through pregnancy is by having intercourse with them.
Really?
Yes, especially tukifika mwishoni. So the semen has something called prostaglandin. Prostaglandin helps with the whole labor, the whole cervix expansion, the whole contraction. And we need that prostaglandin to help with all those things for you. I, as a woman, would tell my partner, bro, kwani huu mzito ubeba, you don't see me going through enough. Why do you want to add sex onto the table?
Yes.
But then him being aware, him being aware of what he can help with, i.e. that.
Yeah.
He can lure his partner into accepting to have intercourse, and just understanding that that is helpful for me should make him try get me into wanting to do it. During pregnancy, women have a lot of hormones raging,
Yeah.
Nakutana na hizi cravings ambazo unaamshwa saa 9 mtu anataka samaki wa kukaanga wa Kariakoo ambaye yule yani you'd be like, hey,
Alipigwa sasa hivi.
Na unaweza ukamleta.
Ilikuwa saa ile, I need something else.
I want something else. So to just understand that she's not doing that on purpose. Trust me, it's not her. If you or a man has ever dealt with a woman who's in her menstruation, tunakuwa very moody, tunakuwa crave a lot of things, I want you, then I don't want you, why are you here? But then when you go, why did you go? Now amplify that when it comes to pregnancy. To be understanding, to be present, to help out the best way you know how, kuelewa kwamba yes, yeye ndo amebeba yule mtoto, but ni wewe ambaye ulichangia katika kumtengeneza yule mtoto, kuelewa kwamba it was all fun and games while making that baby. It should be all fun and games while taking her through this pregnancy and labor. Unajua, most women tend to say, but no, it's just that we want more of your attention, but we just don't know how to ask for it. Yes, and especially during that time. Kwa hiyo, don't wait for her to ask for that attention. Biblo umetamani nini? Coming home and massaging our feet, because that is one place of the body that hurts the most during pregnancy. Inakuwa inavimba because of the water retention that happens in the body. Kwa hiyo, let me massage your feet goes a long way. Makes significant other feel like, ananijali, canceling out 2 hours of your day to take her to clinic. It sounds very basic, but it does a lot to the general health of the mom and the baby, because we tend to say baby anasikia, baby anasikia, baby anahisi. That's why we tell dad to communicate with baby. Dad comes home, baby, I'm home. I know it sounds very insane, but researchers proves that baby anasikia.
Really?
Yes. Baby feels, baby hears. Kwa hiyo, now, when I say hear, I'm not saying anaelewa the words I'm saying, but
The voice.
ana understand, okay, this voice is familiar. No maana unakuta a dad's touch on the belly would make the baby. Yes. So just engage. Being present is one of the best ways a partner can help. Lifting off that weight once in a while can help. Encouraging her to do her workouts can help. Just, being you. Being that partner that she saw. Mpaka mkaamua kwa pamoja kwamba we'll have a baby together.
Yeah, taking notes.
You should.
I'm taking notes for the future. So earlier you said that during intercourse there's a hormone. What's the name of the hormone?
Prostaglandin.
Prostaglandin. Yeah, I believe that some mothers to be are self-taking caring of themselves.
Okay.
Like they're not in a relationship, or maybe it happened accidentally and they didn't work out.
Okay.
Is there a different way that they could get the hormone?
No, unfortunately.
Oh, sad.
Our body produces them as well.
Yeah.
Our bodies produce them as well, but then they're loaded.
Yeah.
They're loaded a lot more in the semen. Kwa hiyo human. Again, it's a pro. If we're asking how that partner can help, then these are different ways of partner help. When we don't have the partner, assuming partner is working abroad and I'm here, or mara nyingi sana tunapenda kusema mtu kajifungulia nyumbani.
Yeah.
Kwa hiyo maybe me and partner live in Arusha and my parents live in Dar. Kuja kujifungulia Dar, where am I going to get that prostaglandin from? Kwa hiyo it's a plus point, but it's not a compulsory point. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Right now, let's go back to mental health.
Please, yes.
Yeah. I mean, I believe that there's lots of people that are suffering mental health.
Yes.
In Africa, they might neglect it, but it's always there.
Yes.
I mean, do you think that exercises help them for their mental health?
Most definitely. And you know that there's that saying where, depression makes people not want to work out.
Yeah.
But no, it's
the other way around.
Yes. The reason I'm saying that, Nico Sababu, however you want to look at this, working out in a gym, there's a social gathering part.
Yeah.
You're not going to be the only one in the gym. And just you getting up, going to the gym is already a plus thing on your mental health. It's that determination that you put that, you know what? I will go. Even if I'm going to go for 20 minutes, I will go. So that's already a boost to your mental health because you're determined to do something. And then if you decide to work outside, go for a walk, go for a run, that on its own nature plays a good role on your mental health. But it boosts your self-confidence. When you work out, you look good. I mean, let's be honest. Everybody who works out has a muscle here, and us women have our hips there and our bums there and our tummy. Yes. That already boosts my self-confidence, which then puts my mental health at a very better state. Yes. Ukiangalia self-confidence, ukiangalia the release of the hormones that we talked about during working out gives you that temporary euphoria, which would keep making you want to keep doing it, would then take you away from the most common one, which is depression. Working out keeps you in a routine. So it eliminates a little bit of anxiety. It helps you control your anxiety a bit better. Because if you can have a routine with your workouts, you can have a routine with things that keep you anxious. It gives you that control. Kidogo. Of course, this is in no way, shape, or form to say that don't get the help you need. If you're going through anxiety, if you're going through depression, if you're going through any mental health problem, please get the help you need. But exercising tends to help with the help that you're going to go get. Because I don't know how to put the right words to this, but working out gives you that blood pump. Yeah. So it once you kuna watu wengi sana wanakwambia release stress through working out.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's one way of dealing with your stress is part of mental health. If Working out releases your stress. You're going to put more emphasis pale. Endorphins are released. Oxytocin is released. You feel good. You look good. So that makes you want to go even more. You're having that social life pale at the gym where you're going to work out. Kwa hiyo, mshikaji fulani, leo naenda, leo siendi. And then it sometimes goes out of the gym because we worked out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Kwa hiyo, this Saturday, let's go chill at place X. So you get that social life. If you're a person who doesn't work out in the gym, you decide to do sports, let's say. You're a person who plays football, basketball, volleyball, whatever kind of sport. There you have that gathering pale. You have that crew of yours, your team. It might not be sufficient enough to treat your problem, but it helps with that. Umecheka na yule pale kasema hichi umecheka, wewe umesema hichi yule pale kakipenda. You came in dressed up in a jersey that your team is a rivalry to mine, Manchester United, Liverpool, sijui Man City, nini. So there's that up, down and going. Kwa hiyo, overall, it plays a huge role on your mental health with the release of the hormones, with the stress reduction, with the boosting of self-confidence and things like that. Kwa hiyo, people who say, people who are depressed tend to not to want to do anything and just sit down and no. But then if you flip that scenario, it's one of the best things you can do for your depression, actually. Where I'm encouraging people, especially our generation. Our generation, we want things way too fast. We want so many things way too fast, yes. We tend to see these Instagram lives there, and people just show us what they want us to see.
They don't show us the background to it.
No, they don't. Kwa hiyo, all we see is person X. I don't know, whatever drives person. Cars. I see person X driving that car. iPhone 15 and PS whatever, and every day.
A bigger house.
And those are the things that I see, and those are the things that push me. A bigger house, or person Carlton is traveling from Arusha to Dar to Mwanza to, and I want that. But they don't see the behind the scene of having to travel with all these things, having to struggle, having to sit down for 2 hours listening to Farha talk, yep, her mouth for 2 hours.
Very interesting.
There is so many things that happen, and so that's why our generation is one that faces a lot of depression. Anyway, we are a generation that's walking with depression that goes undiagnosed, because nimecheka, and then Farha is very jolly, but you don't know what's going on behind the scene, what's happening in my personal life. Where let's check up on each other. Us who smile the most are the ones that need to be tapped in the most. Work out. Success doesn't come that easy. Speak to any person who's successful. And I'm slightly moving away from physiotherapy here, but speak to anyone who's successful. Other than people who inherited their wealth, and I don't consider them successful because other people worked on your behalf, but people who worked for their success didn't have it easy. So don't just sit here and say, I want it. And Jonakuta Sasapo, women, I'm going back to women, we're easily lured into relationships that then we end up with all these secondary complications ambazo can be avoided if we just stay focused. And exercise can help us. If I'm going to tap a bit into my field, then working out inatupa what's the word I'm looking for? Discipline.
Yeah.
Working out gives you discipline where if I can do this, I can do that. If I can do this, I can do that. If I can, and then build your way through it. Kwa hiyo, let's check on each other. Let's work out to get rid of that depression, and let's just be happy. Let's try build up a happy generation, man. That's one thing I'm really
working for.
Yes, and I start with myself. I try and make sure life is not easy, but I try and make sure I'm happy. And I know when I'm happy, when my client walks in and I'm like, "Oh, hi Carlton, how are you? How was your day?" My patient pale to immediately kama hata alikuja na mia yake yanashuka yanakuwa 50, and he or she gets to give me his or her full energy, full time. And then our goals are better. So we get to achieve his or her goals better. and then that would then in turn boost his or her life and in confidence. And then it's a game of checkers where you push this to get that to get that to win. Yeah. Kwa hiyo, let's work. Let's do our exercises to get rid of to improve our mental health.
And to tell you, you're doing a really great job just being happy.
Oh,
because
thank you.
Today, you seem really charming.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
I mean, okay, let's now speak about obese people, yeah?
Okay.
So from what you explained about during pregnancy,
Yes.
would you say that those are literally the same things that obese people face?
No, pregnancy is temporary.
Yeah, I mean, like in a permanent level, then.
No.
Yeah.
There is literally no comparison between obesity and pregnancy. I say that to mean obesity or a person who's obese is a person who's struggling with so much in terms of insulin resistance, in terms of their metabolism is low, and sometimes it's just genetics. Genetics play a huge role in a person's obesity level, kwa sababu once I've inherited that gene, it takes a lot.
Yeah.
Ndio maana unakuta mara nyingi sana watu wenye familia watu warefu wengi wanakuwa warefu ndio watu wenene kwa sababu you inherit the gene comes from the mom and the dad to the child, and then kwa hiyo I wouldn't say it's the same. They don't face the same problems. Those are two different spectrum of things. Those are two different spectrum of things. Would you treat them equally the same? No, kwa sababu with obesity, it's change of lifestyle. It's a lot, and sometimes it with pregnancy. Unajua huyu ni temporary. It's that weight gain that happened because of pregnancies. It's the hormonal changes that happen because of pregnancy. Obesity is a lifestyle situation. It's a eating habit. It's a working out behavior. It's the type of lifestyle that you have, and some it's just genetics. Well, I don't see a comparison between the two. You treat them equal, like completely differently. Uyo obesity inabidi uanze very low, very very low, because most of the time people with obesity have a higher fat mass comparatively to muscle mass. Okay. And the muscle mass, we're demanding a lot from the muscle mass. Yani tuna push too hard to carry a lot. Kwa hiyo, as much as I'm trying to burn fat, which is through cardio, I need to do strength training to build up that muscle to get that balance between the fat and the muscle weight. While in pregnancy, I'm not really working with fats. I'm working with just body weight that has increased with the pregnancy. Kwa hiyo, even dealing with them, when I deal with them tofauti, huyu you need to burn a lot more, huyu you need to gain a lot. So they don't have the same ailments. They don't have, if you look at obesity, you're expecting to hear a lot more knees issue because the weight is going down to the knees and ankles. Who you're expecting more pregnancy, you're expecting more low back pain because the weight is just situated right here. Or it's the back that's carrying a lot more. It's the back that's being pushed with the baby. Obesity, it's overall body weight. It's the hip, the knees, the weight-bearing joints that would face a lot more than yeah. Well, I wouldn't relate to those two.
So, is it the better treatment just to cut diet and go to the gym? Obese people.
Oh no, it's a holistic approach.
Yeah.
So anybody who wants to lose weight, let alone obese people, as you mean Farha. Maybe I'm not happy with how I look and I want to lose weight. I can't just say I'm going to diet. I can't just say I'm going to work out. There's a 60-40. The last paper I read was 60-40 ratio. 60% of me losing weight is on my diet. 40% is on my workouts. So I can't just say I'm going to do my diet and then not work on cutting fat that was already there. The diet that I'm going to do is going to work on future body fat. And what about the one that I already have? What's going to happen there? With my diet, I need to be eating food that boosts my metabolism. But if I'm only sitting down and I'm not working out, then my resting metabolism increases. So I need to work out so that my resting metabolism decreases and the food that I eat is converted into energy rather than stored into fat. So it's a it's a it's a ratio of both. I can't just say if I want to lose weight in terms of obesity, people, I'm just going to cut down on my food or I'm just going to work out. No, you need both. For you to burn fat, you need to do cardio, which is working out.
Yeah.
For you to use that fat, you need metabolism to happen. It's a 60-40. If I'm not mistaken, that's the last research paper. I'm sure there's so many more that came out, but the last one I read was a 60-40. 60% of your diet needs to be in check, so a balanced diet, and 40% of your workouts. Now, again, if you're obese, you have a lot of weight going into your joints. Where you're doing sit-ups, the traditional way is not going to cut it for you. You're just going to end up hurting yourself because you're demanding a lot from a muscle that is not even strong. You're demanding your abs to lift up your upper body wakati your abs zenyewe zimefunikwa with a layer of fat that's already a weight. Kwa hiyo, right diet, right exercising to help you lose that weight. And then after you lose that weight, most of the time you need to tone it. Otherwise, you'll end up with this sluggish looking body because there was fat before. You've burned that fat or that fat. So then you end up with that hanging.
Yeah. The muscles hanging.
Yes. So you need to tone that, which then again is another set of workouts that need to be done to tone it. Kwa hiyo, it's you can pick. You can say, I'm only going to do this and not do the other one. You have to do it all to get it all.
What's the biggest misconception that you hate hearing when you say that I'm a physiotherapist?
Triggered. Joking. That I'm a masseuse.
I mean, literally when I was researching for this,
yes,
it was bringing a lot
of masseuse.
Masseuse.
Yes. So that is one of the things that I hate the most when it comes to people who hear my fields. Two things, actually. The first one is being a masseuse. And according to Tanzanian culture, let me not say Tanzanian culture. Let me say my society is the concept that physiotherapy only deals with stroke people.
Yeah.
And kids, CP, cerebral palsy kids. And that's not all we do. I sat here and talked to you, and we talked about women, we talked about desk job, we talked about general health, we talked about mental health. And all those are roles that I carry as a physiotherapist. But masseuse is top on that list, yo. And a masseuse takes 3 months to study his or her course. I freaking went 4 years, to excuse my French. 4 years in school. I had to go through cadavers, cut body, learn where the muscle starts to where the muscle ends, how a muscle is, what action the muscle does, what nerve innervates that specific muscle, and a lot more. I had to sit through body. Did you know that the first year of physiotherapy, tunasoma darasa moja na madaktari?
Oh, I didn't know.
Yes. Our first year of school, all of us go through the same thing. Whether you're doing physio, you're doing occupational therapy, you're doing medical doctor, most of us literally tunakaa darasa moja.
Okay, makes sense.
So, and a masseuse is like 3 months. Not talking down to masseuse, but
definitely triggered.
Oh, triggered. I'm not saying they're doing a fantastic job. I tell my patients to go for massages. I'll be honest. People with desk jobs, I tell them, indulge yourself in a massage every once in a month. Kwa sababu your job puts you in a certain position in a long time, and getting them relaxed, getting them massaged is one of the best ways. Massage is one part of physiotherapy, but it's not just it. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, we had an entire semester, which was about 6 months, tunasoma massage, unlike a masseuse ambayo amesoma miezi mitatu. So we had to go through the different types of massages, the facial one, the body one, the one with pain, the one not with pain, the one where you are swelling and who you are. So there are different ways, the different types. Where you're assuming a physiotherapist as a massage therapist, that's extremely wrong. But do we practice it? Yes. I use massage to help with back pains. I use massage to help with neck pain, just to ease down a muscle. It goes a long way. So that misconception. And the other one is comba, we only deal with strokes and babies, which are CPs. But with Tosetian talked about a lot of different conditions And even people who don't even have such issues can still come to a physiotherapy department to get themselves, to prevent themselves from having such issues. But those two, without being triggered and talking down on no one.
Speaking about massage, yeah?
Yes.
I mean, I think it can be one or the other.
Okay.
Exercise or massage, right?
It can be both.
But someone could be like, I might be doing a massage over this. What's the effect of? Maybe I have back pains.
Okay.
I only do massage. I don't do exercises.
Okay.
Like, what's
Okay.
the effect of that?
It's just going to be a vicious cycle. You're not fixing anything.
Okay.
Massage relaxes a muscle. After it's relaxed and you go back to your lifestyle, which is your desk job, which is whatever that brought about that back pain, it's just going to come back. But if you do your massage, you relax that muscle, bring that muscle back to almost normal state, and then work it into what you were demanding from it, then that's when you're going to reap the benefit of it. But kama tu ni yule, and in all honesty, we do have clients who walk in, who come in and tell you, Dr. Farha, Mimi, it's just the massage.
Nothing else.
Nothing else. Yani, Dr. Farha, the massage that you do for me really helps me. My pain goes away for X amount of time. And that's where psychology comes in, plays in.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, we'll do this, but so well, let's just try this. And then after they've tried it, they come and realize, at this time, nimekaa 6 weeks, sijarudi ofisini kwake. Okay, so this might. So then after 6 weeks, when he or she comes in, should come and tell you and be like, Farha, I think yale mazoezi ambayo tuliyofanya yamenifanya nime-extend. I usually come in by 3 weeks, my pain kicks in, but now it's 6 weeks. You're like, you see? Okay, so let's now. So then that's slowly how you build that lifestyle. So you can't pick one. Okay. Exercising on its own is also without the massage, without that relaxation, you'll get fatigued. Ndio maana unakuta footballers or sports people have masseuse as part of their teams to relax their muscles after training, for example. Yeah. So it's a balance. You need a balance for both, so you don't reap off the benefits. You can't say you're doing it.
Yeah. Okay. So from my understanding is that when you do the exercises, it's like you're strengthening the muscles.
Depending.
Okay. And while you're doing the massage, you're just maintaining it to become normal for the time being.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I only do massage for a really long time, wouldn't that make my muscles or joints even worse?
Worse in terms of strength?
Yeah, because it's like I'm depending on the massage to come back.
So you'll just be dependent on the massage, but not necessarily weak. Kwa sababu you're still going about your day, so your muscles are still being active, but they're not going to get stronger. They're not going to get stronger, but they're not going to go weaker. Utakuwa hapo kwenye hiyo balance, because it's not like umelala kitandani. You're not using your muscle. You're still using your phone. You're still on your driving to work, walking to work. So there's still a bit of muscle work happening. So you would have maintained the strengths that you have and not necessarily strengthen them. But the massage, you'd be dependent on it in terms of anything that would give you that usa feeling, that good feeling. And if you keep doing it, take a simple example is cigarettes. People who smoke cigarettes have a feeling that keeps taking them there. And for them to feel that way, they need to have that smoke.
Yeah.
If you're dependent on that massage to relax you, then itaanza every month, and then itakuja every twice a month, and then once in 3 weeks, and then and it even would get to a point where you don't have time to go to a spa or rather meet a masseuse. Anybody nyumbani utamtu njoni kanyage, njoni binye aini hapa panauma, njoni binye. So it just becomes a good feeling that you're searching for, but not necessarily get a benefit from it. Not from what. No.
Okay. So that means finger cracking is not a problem.
For as long as it doesn't hurt.
Okay.
As you state that I just cracked my ankle. Did you?
Yeah, I heard it. Anyways,
that noise that comes from it is just a nitrogen bubble that was trapped between the joints. So it's just the from the bubble. They say it's not good, but why? Can they tell me why it's not good? I mean, what are they basing that on? Any popping sound. What we tend to say, any popping sound that comes with that pain. It's just a joint making noise.
So for someone who wants to do physiotherapy,
Yes.
you did it by just because you wanted to get out of the
The
home.
country.
Yeah. So do you suggest there's a different way that you would have done if you would have done it again willingly to do it right now?
No, I would have done it just the same way. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how was that way then?
Enjoying what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoying what you're doing. After my first year of uni, after I saw what we do, I built interest in it. I enjoyed it. And anybody who wants to do this field needs to be willing to be patient, needs to be willing to create that relationship with your client. Like I said, minimum a day is 45 minutes spent with me. If I don't have the patience to tolerate a person for more than 45 minutes, this is not the place for you. If you're not willing to put in the work, and when I say work, I mean you personally working out, and that we're gonna stick to what I'm saying temporarily, because you have people who walk into your office who are paralyzed, and it's you who needs to lift them up. It's you who needs to teach people how to lift them up. How many of those are you going to do a day? So if you're not willing to put in that work, please stick to the desk job. So I wouldn't have done it any other way, to be honest. I'd have done it just the same way, built interest along the way. I found it a bit more. So I didn't study here, yeah. And in Tanzania, it was only KCMC by the time I was studying, which is miaka nyuma kidogo. KCMC was the only university doing bachelor's, and Suza in Zanzibar doing diploma. Right now, Mwili has just started, which is very good. Kwa hiyo, in the medical field, yeah, if you don't put in the effort yourself to study, they can teach you everything. So probably that's one thing I would have done different. I would have put in a bit more effort in teaching myself. And I did that after I graduated. So yes. So I wish I did that before. After I graduated, I figured theory is not equivalent to practical. Vitu kwa ground, viko different.
Definitely.
Vitu kwa ground came in and slapped me, and I was like, where am I? That's when I was like, okay, if I want to be competent in what I'm doing, if I want to stand out in what I'm doing, if I want to make a difference in what I'm doing, I needed to put in that work. I needed to go read more papers. I needed to update myself with different researches. I needed to look at what other countries are teaching or other students are learning. Because sometimes when it comes to demographics, it plays a huge role in what they teach you.
Yeah.
Example, I studied in Malaysia. Kwa hiyo vitu ambavyo wanatufundisha in Malaysia was completely different from what they taught us in India, because different demographics. Coming to work in Tanzania, completely different demographics. Kwa hiyo I had to touch base with the population of where I'm at and knowing what kind of conditions I'm exposed to and perfect my skill in those specific conditions. Something I would do differently as well is when I first started working, and this is something I am not very proud of, but I'm holding it very, very high, because if I had not been through that, I would not have been where I'm at right now. Many physiotherapists or many physiotherapist centers tend to do passive treatment. So what do I mean by passive treatment? The massages that when you come in, I'm doing things for you, which then make you dependent on me. And that is something that we want to get away from. We want to build a lifestyle. We want to add life into your years. Kwa hiyo, initially, when I first started practicing, I was doing the same thing. I was passive treatment. You walk into my office, unakuja, nakuwekea machine, nakuwekea heat, nakuwekea sijui nini, do a massage, do ultrasound for you, make you come back and come back and come back consecutively for like 2 weeks. Obviously, your pain is going to go away if you walk into my office every day for 2 weeks. But then, am I fixing something? I'm not, because now you're dependent on me. After 3 months, that pain is going to come back, and then Dr. Farha alinisaidia, alinitibu for 2. Yes, for 2 weeks, and my pain went away for 3 months. I'll walk into her. Business-wise, yes,
good.
But then, am I really doing what I'm meant to be doing? Then no. I I had to put in that work. I had to go back into my books, go back into different fields to come up and be like, okay, Farha, it's a bit more than that. But something I would have done differently is take time to study on my own and just not take what the teachers give you, not just what they feed me, but soma mwenyewe yani. Whenever I had my vacation, I used to fly back to Malaysia and live life at my fullest. Shout out to my friends who loved that life with me. And I'm not regretting that. But I wish I took at least a week out of the 3 weeks and said, okay, Farha, hii semester tumesoma kitu fulani. Ebu go look for physiotherapy department where, kwa sababu by the time unamaliza ile semester, technology zimeupgrade.
Definitely.
Kwa hiyo usipokuwa in the field, nitaondoka na ile concept ya kwamba this is how you do it. But then unafika miaka mitatu, you're like, hey, things have changed. We're no longer doing it this way, we're doing it this way. Kwa hiyo it takes time to read on my own and enjoy. Something I would not, I know you asked me what I would do differently, but something that I would not have done differently is enjoying studying. My experience in Malaysia was different from India. Malaysia, we were living that student life. Alafu nikaenda India, nikakutana na Wahindi ambao I'm half Indian, so I'm talking to about my own people here. We're so studious here. Yani ni darasani, kula, kuoga, library, kulala, and
that's the cycle.
And no, but guys, let's enjoy kusoma. Let's just not make it about getting that paper, that certificate mwishoni. Enjoy that journey. That's where you grow. That's where you're meeting different people, engage with other people, learn different cultures, explore, entangle yourself in different situations so that when you're done, you're like, hey, I got a lot more than just a certificate in physiotherapy.
Yeah.
I learned how to deal with people. I learned how to deal with different cultures. Because when you're in school inakuwa very limited to your area. Kama unaishi, for example, Msasani, shule ambayo utaenda itakuwa Msasani, Upanga, hapo.
Yeah.
Unlike university gets people from different cultures, different aspects of life, and nyote mnakuwa mnaekwa pamoja. Kwa hiyo take time and accept that change, and that's something actually I would have done different. Accept the change. I was very tough on myself in accepting change. I was very, no, we do it this way. No, it needs to be done this way. I wasn't initially I hadn't allowed myself to explore. Then I said, but Farha, when a life is not this serious. And then I let myself explore, and I had the most fantastic time in university. It's one of my, hata any work life, haijafikia, of course, unapata hela, of course, but haijafikia ile time I had at university. Yes. Yeah. Let yourself explore.
Currently on Instagram, I always see matangazo like, tumia mafuta haya, tukimaliza, it helps to soothe your stomach, inapunguza vifats kama hizo. Ukiwa pregnant, tumia mafuta haya. What's your thought on those treatment methods?
There's no easy thing in life. In one statement.
Yeah.
Everything that comes easy goes easy.
Okay.
Hizo mafuta, sijui, these herbal tablets that sijui make you lose weight, and they're there. They work, but they work in the same way that they boost your metabolism. Kwa hiyo mwisho wa siku chakula chote unachokula kinaisha, or they suppress your appetite. Kwa hiyo unaisha hauli sana. Kwa hiyo at the end of the day, they work the same way as you would if you had put in the work on your own. It's just an easier way with side effects. Why would you want any? We end up in science, we say even 2 tablets of paracetamol weighs on your liver. Just paracetamol that we pop so easily. Now, again, I'm not saying it affects your liver, but I'm saying it weighs heavily in your liver. It needs, your liver has to
do more effort.
Yes, toxin, kuitoa. Yeah. Now I'm taking 3 tablets in the morning, according to these dosages. 3 tablets in the morning, 3 tablets in the evening. And what these tablets do, they make you diarrhea. Yeah? Oh my God, yes, I'm losing this weight. But then, is that the right way to do it? Why just not what we talked about, 60-40, 60% control your diet, work out, and make it a habit, make it habitual. So whatever comes easy goes easy. I do not advise them. I do not support them. I am completely against them kwa sababu who sat down and decided on this dose? Yani tumetumia kigezo gani? Paracetamol nakwambia umeze viwili kwa mkubwa, which is equivalent to 1 gram in a span of 6 hours. It's because that paracetamol has been tested to be effective. The half-life of paracetamol in the body is 6 hours. Well, I can tell you that. Can you, who's telling me to take 3 tablets of this stayed mafuta dawa, what was your base of you coming down to tell me take 3? And I ask these questions to my clients who come tell me, oh, like Dr. Farha, kuna hii option. Please go back to these people. Again, I'm not saying don't do it, but I'm saying ask questions before you accept it. Ask questions of, so me who is at 90 kgs and you who's at 50 kgs, we're taking the same dose. Why? Or me who is 20 and you who is 50, we have different metabolism. 35, we'll say it as it is. At what grounds did we decide kwamba wote tunameza 3 tablets? Or what is in this tablet? Ni kitu gani kipo kwenye hichi tablet? It could be a very beneficial thing. Mm-hmm. But why just don't keep it in the open? Oh, it is herbal. Sure. What kind of herbs are you putting for me? At what quantity are you putting it for me? Someone would come and tell you, oh, but medications that you're talking about, the Panadol and the cough syrups, are all made up from herbs. Yes, but at a controlled quantity. Kwa hiyo sisi ambao tunameza hizi dawa au haya mafuta, who governs this quantity? Who governs the amount? Kwa hiyo it could be a very beneficial thing inside this medication, but let's ask questions. Tuwe na tabia ya sio tu Farha amemeza akapungua kilo na wewe Carlton umeza utapungua kilo. Au it could be that mimi, my genes are supporting the system from mimi kote wote ni membamba. Kwa hiyo I just needed that little bit of boost and the body goes down. My genes help me. Unlike Carlton, unlike person X, unlike Mariam, unlike Aisha, unlike, why am I just saying women's name? Unlike Alan and Mohammed, who also take these tablets.
If I give you this opportunity to say literally anything.
Okay.
Anything. Yes. What would you say?
Stay happy. Life is very short. Live it to the fullest, but don't do it carelessly. I would say love is a very beautiful thing. Experience it in the most natural of way, in the most spontaneous of ways. I would say check up on one another. Check up on one another. And there's so much hate in this world. Let's love each other. Let's build a community of people that support each other rather than pushing each other down. You could do the same thing I'm doing, but I could be doing it a bit different from you. So I could learn from you, you could learn from me, and we could all grow. Let's support each other. Let's love each other. Let's be happy. Utmost thing is be happy. That's what I would say.
Okay. Genuinely be happy, not just be happy because...
No, genuinely, yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Farha, for coming through.
You're welcome.
And guys, I hope you guys learned a lot because I did learn a lot. Na nimeshaipata kujifunza when I make someone pregnant, how I'll treat them.
Oh, please. Yes, please. Yes.
Anyways, thank you so much and till next time.